Alright y'all, we got another video today, and as you can see I'm outside in the wilderness. Low-key, I might want to try making videos outside more. You know, I'm in Santa Barbara right now. It's beautiful out here, you know, it's early in the morning, the sun's shining bright. It's 10:22 right now. Basically what I wanted to go over a little is on building friendships and how it's probably the most important thing to do in your early life, and it starts in middle school basically. And these relationships that you start to build, they have to be well thought out, but it's really hard to do that because when you're young, you're not thinking like, oh, this person's bad for me, or like, oh, this person's we're gonna see life differently. You know, you're not gonna think of those things when you're extremely young, like in middle school. You're just going with the flow. But it's important because, and that's why like parents obviously want their kids to go to a nice community and be around good kids that also have parents that are good, right? So, you know, and obviously as a kid you're gonna gravitate to wherever you gravitate, and it might not always be the best thing for you. And I just know that because I've gravitated towards all kinds of people, and I get along with all kinds of people. It's actually crazy how wide the scale is of the people that I get along with. Not even just get along with, but I'm able to build connections just with all kinds of people, and sometimes that can lead me a wrong direction, and it has before. And that's why I'm kind of like, to be honest, right now I'm sort of I'm by myself. I'm just locking in on my own thing, which is the best case scenario for me. But let's just talk about it because I think it's a very interesting thing that needs to be talked about more. And if you don't have guidance in this, and if you're hanging around people that are maybe don't see the same as you, have different morals, and just are just completely on a different page, then you're gonna want to listen to this video because I'm gonna talk about it. So when you're building friendships, you're also learning more about yourself, and you want these friendships to obviously grow yourself. You want to grow, you know, friendships are to grow in yourself. And when you put it that way, you start to think of like, is this friendship helping me grow? Is this friend, if you think about it, and it can be weird thinking about it, because then you start to realize, oh, maybe I shouldn't be around these people that much. And you know, it's fine. You can have like people you love, and like that doesn't have to change the love around it, but like the whole maybe just hanging around and just like kind of whatever that group mentality is of just like where everyone's just doing the same shit. And this is like, it's really interesting because it's the saying, you are like you are who you hang around, and like the five closest people you hang around, that's who you become, and that's what you stoop down to. And it's true. And honestly, you don't really need a ton of friends to help you grow, because you can find these people online. There's a lot of people online right now where you can actually connect and kind of adopt their mindset, and they can help you grow. So that's the kind of thing. It's good to have in-person friendships, but it's really hard to find in-person friendships that are really gonna help you grow at an accelerated rate. Right now I have like 1 or 2 friends that I'm connected with on a daily basis, and we're growing together, and we want similar things. So yeah, there's that. And right now with one of my friends I'm working on like businesses with, and you know, like I'm working to do a ton of AI research and just learn things and just grow, you know, straight up, like, and we're both like diving into this world together, and we're able to figure things out and come together and talk about it. And it's honestly one of my best friendships. And honestly, that's what I'm realizing going deeper into my mid-20s is that friendships are like my long-term friendships have business sort of included in that. And it doesn't mean like we have to do any business together. I more mean like I'm in the business of gaining skills, and I want to be around people that are gaining skills. And if people, and obviously there's multiple different skills, and for me, I'm currently doing AI. I want to learn a ton of AI skills and a ton of just marketing in general, social media, all this e-commerce stuff. And there's a lot of people that focus on other skills. If you want to become a doctor, it requires different skills. Yeah, so you want to be congruent. You want to have parallel paths with the people you're around. Having like completely different random relationships, I don't think that really does anything. It's cool, like you guys talk, besides like having small conversations, it might not go much further than that, and that's fine. That's fine. Not every relationship has to like mean so, like, be a big building block in your own success. I'm just saying, there's no reason for you to spend so much time around people that are not like consistently building you day on day out, right? Like, you have to have that group, or if you don't, you have to find it online, and you have to just start adopting that mentality to become your own person. You know what I mean? And yeah, and I've gotten sucked into bad habits and just kind of going with the flow, and not really able to lead myself, and sort of just tagging along with friends. And there's parts of it where it worked out, where I was with friends that are congruent, and we were doing a ton of content together. We were getting a lot of shit done with the business. That didn't work out in the end. That's a whole nother story. But and then I've been with friends that I'm literally not growing, and I just like, it's cool, we're chilling, but at some point I'd just rather not. Like, I just rather honestly be alone and able to figure out my own thing. And I don't mean like block no one off either. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying focus on yourself and focus on, growth. And you're not gonna relationships can be distractions sometimes, and that is what I'm trying to get at. Like, it could be very distracting, like all kinds of relationships can be distracting, and it needs to be monitored. Like, I have a girlfriend, and I have to understand when I'm losing focus and when I'm kind of going into this thing of getting comfortable. And that's a huge thing too. That's a whole nother video too, but I'll touch up a little bit on it right now. When you have a girlfriend, man, it can get hard, and you can just like dive into this pit of, oh, life is perfect. We're holding hands, we're walking along the beach, we're walking in the mall, we're going shopping, whatever, like not a clue in the world. And it's great. It's a great relaxing thing, and I love it. I really do. But I can't, like, eventually I start to get overwhelmed because I'm not doing anything. And that is where I need to create boundaries with her, and I feel like I do that. And we just can be the best relationship. It's very difficult, but it can be done, and it needs to be done. If you need to be able to create personal boundaries. You're gonna need to know how to almost say no, and if they're telling y'all, if your friends are like, yo, come out, whatever, and you like, if it deviates from your plans and things that you had to do or things you had to learn, you got to be careful. That's where you really can get sucked into a whole world of just hanging out and kicking it. And honestly, it's kind of weird. I think I'm on a different, I'm not, this is just how my life is. But I do walk around and I see people, and I had that phase. I've been through the phase too. I just feel like after college and after you get a job and you start working, then you start to realize like, I don't have time. Like, I barely have time for myself. How am I gonna have time for my friends like that? And when you start to realize that, you start to see more and more people kind of not be around, if that makes sense. Just like after high school, and everyone moves on, and you go to college, and then you get new friends, and then you only are tapped in with a certain few from them. It's the same thing after college. You're eventually only going to be tapped in to a few. And I really think when you're in your mid-20s, you're going to go by and just not have that many friends available. You're just all busy, right? So that's kind of what I just wanted to touch up on. And I don't think it should be a bad thing. I think it should be a good thing. It should be a motivating thing. I think people should really take a serious look at who they're around and really decide whether that is right for them. Because I'm telling you, there's no possible way that you can have everything, and you can't be friends with everyone, and you can't make time for everyone. It's just not gonna happen. And as much as you'd want to, it just doesn't work like that. It's really about balancing your own time and making time for yourself. You have to be there for yourself first, and that means really think about that, and take a deep look and understand, maybe these relationships aren't the best for me. Maybe it's not helping me achieve my goals. Maybe I need to be around these type of people, and then you find those, and it's obviously hard, right? I'm not around a ton of people. Like I said, I only have one good friend that I'm kind of tapped in with. I actually cannot believe sort of the direction I went when I was around some friends that were just on a completely different page. I completely became someone that I just am not. Got into really bad stuff, wasted tons of time, and just didn't. And it wasn't even my choice. Literally, you just become who you're surrounded by, and if you're surrounded by that mentality, that's all you're gonna know. Especially if your family is not quite guiding you the right way, I guess. For example, my mom is very busy at work all the time. She's always, she's not really around to really see how I'm really doing. So I kind of have to figure these things out by myself, and I kind of have to guide myself, and it's scary just because of how long that can take. And for me, I know for some people it could be decades, but for me it was a few years of just kind of shooting the shit, just on a very short-term kind of thinking. And that is right now I can't do short-term thinking. Now I'm just trying to prepare for everything. The whole world's changing, dude. Everything's gonna go. All these jobs are gonna go. And if you just spend your time hanging around friends, and you're not working on your skills, and you're not working on how are you gonna be of value to this world, what are you gonna do? You're gonna get replaced by AI, genuinely. And I don't want to be one of those people, and I am going to do everything I can and focus so I can have the best outcome for my life. I'm not thinking right now, mid-20s, I get it, I'm 23, but I get it, you're in college, or you do whatever. But think about this, because when you get out of college, how are you going to be set up? Are you going to be around people that you don't want to be around? Are you going to be around people that don't have the same values and mindset and outlook on life? Or are you going to be around people that are really going to take you to that next level, and you guys are all going to that next level out after college or whatever? This is just what you need to think about, and really take advantage of the resources, and if you're in college, and don't settle for people that you're not going to that's not going to be around in 10 years. Okay, you want to take this shit seriously. Okay, and that's why I've lost tolerance for I'm not saying I'm not gonna kick back and have a beer or whatever with the homies, but I'm not gonna do that every day. I just can't. I can't even do that. I could do that maybe 5 times a year where I'm really just chilled out, unless we're traveling, obviously. But and that's coming up soon. I'm actually going to Europe soon, and I would love to bring you guys along, and I'm gonna make videos out there. But yeah, I think that kind of concludes this video. I'm gonna wrap it up. Just be smart. Don't make excuses. If you need friends, you don't. Like, you do, but you don't. So don't get too caught up in that. Just really think about what you're trying to do here, and if the people around you kind of are on that same page. And if not, you know what to do. It doesn't matter. You're gonna figure it out anyways. I think that's the end of this video, guys. I'm gonna go kind of just look at this lake. There's some, look at that, there's like a swan over there. But yeah, I think this is cool. We got it going. You know, I'm getting some more subscribers. I got 20 subscribers. Let's go, baby. And you know, I'm glad to be building this community. I'm glad to talk about things. If you disagree with what I'm saying, that's fine. Comment it down. I don't care. I'm just speaking, literally. I'd love to conversate about it. If there's any gaps, you know, if there's anything I can learn, I'm always open to that. And just because I'm the one speaking to the camera doesn't mean I know what I'm talking about either. This is just my own experience, and I'm just gonna put it out there because it may or may not help. But we'll see. We'll just have to see on that. All right, guys. I'm gonna catch you guys later in the next one. Take it easy.